welcome back everyone to the Working Class Revolt. And today I want to talk about, and I say this as somebody who voted the Reform UK Party and thinks that they are the best way forward when we look at all the political parties out there. I want to talk about Ben Habib, the former deputy leader of the Reform Party, and his clash, his war of words that he seems to be having with the leader, Nigel Farage. So to give a bit of history to this, Ben Habib has done a lot of good work for the Reform UK Party, don't get me wrong. He was the deputy leader, and him and Richard Tice basically built the party up after Farage formed it, and while Farage was taking a back seat. Then the general election was called and Farage came back, took over as leader, and effectively the party was set up at the time, it's not now, it was set up as a limited company with Farage as the major owner. Ben Habib didn't win his seat, Farage did, and so did Richard Tice and 3 other MPs. But the reason I just say Richard Tice is because Richard Tice then took the position of deputy leader after giving the leadership up to Farage, and Ben Habib was no longer sat on the front table. Now then what we saw was GB News, Talk TV give a hell of a lot of airtime to Ben Habib, who was giving out his grievances on the party, while still part of the party, or so it seemed, on what his problems was. And he said it was nothing to do with him, but it was because the party wasn't democratised, which it now is. That Farage always said he would democratise the party as it got bigger. Now Ben Habib had never, and I apologise if I'm wrong, brought this up until he was no longer the deputy leader. When he was the deputy leader beforehand, I never saw him coming out attacking Nigel Farage on TV. So to me, as somebody who's always liked Ben Habib, I think he's a brilliant talker. I think it was nothing more than sour grapes, and he took on a one-man campaign, standing up for the little person, saying it was all about having democracy in Reform UK, when really he was upset, and he may not have realised that himself. This is just my opinion. But what he has now done is bring harm to the movement of the Reform UK Party. Not a lot of harm, but harm nonetheless. He makes out that Farage is a dictator without saying he's a dictator, and says that all he wants is to see the Reform Party a true democratised party like it always was meant to be. Now Nigel Farage has responded with very few words. He's come back and said that Ben Habib is no longer part of the party. Richard Tice, who's been friends with both of them, doesn't really seem to want to get into it. And it seems to me that Ben Habib has basically been left behind and the party's moved on. And Talk TV and GB News cannot help themselves but bring Ben Habib on every single time they want somebody to criticise without criticising the leader, Nigel Farage. Now Nigel Farage, whether you like him, you don't like him, Nigel Farage is the Reform UK Party. Without Nigel Farage, the party would have stayed a small fringe party that wouldn't have probably got any MPs, maybe Lee Anderson, who was the former Conservative Party MP, maybe he would have held his seat, but it surely wouldn't have got the 4 million votes and 5 seats, and now we're seeing on a whopping 21% because, let's be honest, Nigel Farage is in Parliament. As soon as Farage joined the campaign, the media couldn't get enough of him, and this is the same media that don't like Nigel Farage, but they know that he brings views, he puts seats on, but he puts bums on seats. So Ben Habib, if he really cares about the Reform UK Party, has 2 choices. One, and this is in my opinion because he says he cares, he stays away from the Reform Party and keeps that zipped, doesn't keep calling the Reform UK Party, or he takes his skill set, which he has, stays in the Reform Party and contributes to the Reform Party. It isn't Farage's fault that Ben Habib didn't get elected as an MP. I'm sure if he had done, he would have kept a major role in the party. And I'm sure if Ben Habib had just carried on doing what he was doing, he still would have been involved. But he was out within 24 hours. I'm sure it was 24 hours. If it wasn't, it was very close after the switch around by Farage. He was out straight away criticising the party. Now, you know, if anybody out here has ever run a business, a charity, or any type of organisation, things get sorted out behind closed doors. You speak about things between yourselves. So if 24 hours or maybe 48 hours after you'd made this switch, you'd saw somebody from your organisation talking about it publicly and slating you, you probably would keep that door closed on them for good. Ben Habib, in my opinion, has showed sour grapes. He's gone the wrong way about it, and this one-man campaign that he's running against Nigel Farage, I don't think it's going to get him anywhere, and it's definitely, and I think he knows this, it's not good for the Reform Party. But please let me know what you think, because we're seeing a lot of channels now, channels which are probably more to the right than I am, saying that this is proof that Nigel Farage is a dictator, Farage isn't really centre-right, and basically championing Ben Habib. But I would just say to those channels, just ask yourself this: where is UKIP since Nigel Farage left? UKIP is probably more aligned with some of those channels' views, and them views aren't wrong, by the way, but they're probably more aligned with some of their views. But where is the UK Reform Party? You need somebody like Nigel Farage at the helm of the party, somebody who speaks well, somebody who campaigns well, and mainly is a recognised name that gives the party some credibility. But like I said, please let me know in the comment section your views. I like Ben Habib. I think Ben Habib's good, but I don't like the way Ben Habib, in my opinion, is throwing his toys out of the pram. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on what do you think Ben Habib should do next. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.